was about 13 years old, I volunteered to work a summer at a local zoo. I worked in the baby zoo section, the smaller, gentler creatures that visitors could pet. One day, I was told to clean the donkey enclosure. This wasn't their nighttime stall, just a daytime corral designed to make it easier for people to pet them. Unfortunately, it had a concrete floor. That meant any poop they dropped was on full display. I entered the enclosure with my hose as a bunch of people watched. At that moment, rather than just stand there and eat hay like they normally do, the donkeys decided they wanted a little more action. I have to be careful about what I show next because some people, they get offended by how nature works. I will keep this purely educational. Nothing more than what you might see on one of those nature shows like National Gee, it's graphic. They were doing something like this. It's how baby donkeys are made. It's perfectly natural, nothing to be ashamed of. So there I was, standing in front of a crowd of parents and small children, holding my hose and shovel while a pair of horny donkeys were going at it. You can call it what you want. Humping, shagging, boinking, banging, doing the nasty, bumping uglies, romping in the hay, hiding the monster. Parents gasped and covered their kids' eyes. People laughed. A child cried. I was super embarrassed. A kid in the crowd waved for my attention. What are they doing? I didn't know how to answer. Sure, I knew they were mating, but how could I explain that to a little kid with his parents watching? Step right up, folks. Witness the natural miracle of donkey love. Watch as two donkeys bump away at each other until a new baby donkey magically appears. It will take about a year for a newborn to emerge, so if you want to see something faster, I direct your attention to the next exhibit with our ever-growing family of rabbits. I didn't say that. I just stood there, waiting for them to finish. My face got redder and redder, and they seemed to go on forever. Then suddenly, they were done. The male donkey hopped off the female, and they both went back to eating as if nothing had happened. It was the longest 20 seconds of my life. On another occasion, I was asked to clean Monkey Island. A spider monkey named Ben lived on a tiny island with a climbing structure. There was no cage and no bars. Only a small, shallow moat separated Ben from the public. That day, while I was petting Ben, a mom with two kids approached the moat. She asked if they could pet Ben too. I figured sure, why not? Now today I know that was against the rules, but back then I was only 13, so I did stupid stuff. I scooped Ben into my arms and carried him across the moat. As they pet Ben's plush fur, I noticed the kids were kind of gross. Their faces were dirty. Food stains covered their shirts, and one kid, he picked his nose the whole time. They also smelled. Actually, they stunk. I don't know if the nose picker farted, or if the other kid farted, or perhaps they just always smelled bad, but a foul stench drifted around them, and it grew stronger and stronger. Their mom grimaced. I figured she smelt it too, and she was embarrassed because she quickly said thank you, and she ushered her kids away, giving me a weird look. Maybe she's the one who dealt it. I returned Ben to his play structure, happy to be away from the farting stinkers. But the stench, it was still there, and it was stronger than ever. I looked down at my shirt. Ben had pooped all over me. The kids didn't stink. It was me. And this was bad. This wasn't just a few clumps of dry poop I could simply brush off. No, this was borderline monkey diarrhea. It was sliding down my shirt and dripping on my pants. I glanced at Ben, but he smiled at me. He knew what he'd done. I didn't know what to do. I paced back and forth, panicking. Then I went behind the play structure. I scooped dirty water out of the moat, and I splashed it on my shirt over and over, rubbing my clothes until they were drenched. I looked ridiculous. Eventually, most of the poop was gone, but I was a soaking wet mess. I figured it was better to tell people I slipped and fell in the moat than admit I got a monkey so excited from being petted that he dumped his messes on me. Those were my most embarrassing zoo moments. Is there a moral? Not really, but if you need a lesson from these, how about this? Animals poop, animals pee, animals mate. It's all part of nature. Just try not to be standing nearby when they do their dirty business. Thanks for watching. I'm hoping the comments get turned on for this video. If they are, let me know what you think. If you have your own embarrassing animal story, I'd love to hear about it. Until then, please, be kind to animals.